All right, Xfinity at Chicagoland. I'm actually going to put the offset back up to +6 here. So 16 to 1 +6, 57. That's what I'm using. Feel free to use whatever you want. The top should be faster, but I'm going to try both. I tried the top at first and it felt good, except this setup bottoms out like crazy over bumps in both ends actually. There's a big bump on the entry of 1 and 2 and a big bump in the center of 3 and 4. So that's something we got to keep in mind. Let's watch this bump. That's a crazy bump. I don't remember that always being there. But also, I mean, I don't remember anything. Yeah, so that's the entrance of 1 and 2 bump. So we have to pitch our car a little bit more so that that bump can kind of send us straight or send us back to the right a little bit, because if we go through it driving straight, it's just we're gonna have to overslow way too much in. We don't have to do the same in 3 and 4. We just got to make sure that the car is pointed enough over that bump to where we can survive over that. Let's do one more lap up top, and then I will try one lap on the bottom. So pitch the car a little bit more on the entry here. Yeah, see how that would allow me to get a lot more. I just barely had to lift into 1 and 2 for that. So you're not going to be able to do that unless you pitch your car into the corner. Same thing there. I turned a little bit more than I normally would have for that point in 3 and 4, so that when I went through the bump, I was able to survive it. But okay, let's try the bottom. Yeah, there's absolutely no way bottom's better. Middle? Middle's not, it's still bad. Okay, yeah, there's no way that the top is not the best line. Let's take a look at that top line though, because there's gonna be someone who, maybe even someone in the comments, but if they comment this, then you know that they didn't watch this part. Someone might say that I don't know how you're full throttling 1 and 2. And my answer to that is it's the difference in where your literal car, that's not a good, there we go. Your literal car is pointed when you hit the bumps. So watch the car where it hits the bumps. So, oh yeah, look at that. So, well, you know where the bump is now. Oh, that must be the tunnel or something, or I don't know. But that's where the bump is. So when you go over this patch right here, your car better be pointed downward. I'm even aiming right here. You can see my car's lined up with second lane. But at the very least, somewhere in between first and second lane. Because if you hit that bump and you're still pointed straight ahead, you're not going to have time to catch the car while staying mostly full throttle. I bet you can probably I don't know if you can full throttle that, but you can close to full throttle it like I did there. Pretty straightforward once you get through the bump. I don't remember that bump being there, but I might just be crazy. Then now let's try to find that second bump in 3 and 4. It doesn't have as obvious as a marker as 1 and 2, but you can see that bump right here. So yeah, use whatever marker you can for that, but that's definitely the bump. And same thing here. I could be a little less aggressively pitched in the corner. You see I'm turning down a little bit at this point, but the reason I'm turning down a little bit because I know I'm going to go through this bump, and that's going to set me on this course back up the track a little bit, and that keeps me off the wall. So it's all about how you're managing those bumps. And really into 3, I just had to lift to half throttle and then back into full. Just was making sure that I was getting that angle the whole way through. But yeah, so You might be able to full throttle 1 and 2, but I at least show you the framework to go chase that time yourself. The lap times that you see here are all depend on track temperatures, which are changing, especially from day to day, if not session to session. So don't worry if don't take the time as gospel, because I'm probably not super optimal on it as well. So just take that framework and see how far you can push it for yourself. So that's all I'm trying to say. Usually with Chicagoland, the long runs start out on the bottom, and then the people who really manage their tires can stay on the bottom, and then the people that don't manage their tires run the top for the rest of the race. Though sometimes everyone is forced to go to the top for the rest of the race just because it's so good. So you can see here, mega saving on the bottom is going to be pretty slow compared to the top for the first couple laps. It's actually really good in 3 and 4. Wow, wasn't expecting it to be that good in 3 and 4. Oh, I guess that was versus last lap. I already felt the car sliding the right rear a little bit, which was a little surprising. Entering shallow, not really arcing the corners. Trying to keep the car off that right front. If it feels like you're sliding the right rear a lot, then you can start arcing these corners out a little bit like this, driving a little straighter into the corner. But if you're worried about the right front, then I'd recommend keeping the car a little bit shallower and on entry. It's not something that needs to happen. It's just something that might help you. So this is the type of line that I would run in a long run, and I would challenge myself to be able to run it the whole race. Now, giving up spots on a short run and be fixed is a big ask, so you might spend a few laps running the top like this. And you can see it's a lot faster, but it's tough because that's mega destroying tires, but it's 0.2 of a second in a single corner. Like that's not something that you can ignore. But 3 and 4, it's a lot worse. Look at how we were slower in 3 and 4 just because of that, or almost slower in 3 and 4. And that was horrible on tires. So if you have to, I would say run top of 1 and 2. And I really don't think this is good for very long. Like look at my tires are already crap there. I really think if you can maybe do 1 lap in the beginning of defending the top, especially in 1 and 2, prioritizing defending top 1 and 2, maybe for 2 laps, and then just trying to run that bottom line for the rest of the run, that's where I think you're going to see the most success. Because I'm pretty confident people that stick to that top line are going to have a very quick fall off. It's still good tire temps and good tire tread remainings, but it just, for me, it didn't feel sustainable to run the top. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.